How good is Player and Solgaleo actually? How's it going, guys? In today's video, we will have an in-depth analysis of Solgaleo. Make sure to subscribe for future Pokemon Masters content. So Solgaleo is a free physical steel type striker. The stats shown here are level 130 and 5 out of 5. And 20 out of 20 because it's a free unit. Everybody should have him at 20 out of 20 and 5 out of 5. So yeah, overall, Solgaleo stats are really solid. Good HP, high attack, good special attack, pretty tanky, and then pretty good speed. So overall, Solgaleo is, in terms of stats, is really good. Now for his passive, sadly he only has one passive, which is Impervious, which is a really good passive. Your stats cannot be lowered, which is really good. So in terms of moves, he has Metal Claw, which is a 1 gauge spam move, 95% accuracy, and then base power 25, and has 10% chance of raising the attack. You pretty much won't use it much unless you're like lack of move gauge and then you want to quickly sync, then maybe you would want to use that, but other than that, you want to use Solgaleo as a DPS unit. For his second move is Sunsteel Strike, a 3 gauge physical steel type move, which is 100% accurate at 120 BP. This move can ignore all the passives that can reduce the damage of this move. So basically, passives like Steel Guard and Vigilance is pretty useless against this move because Sunsteel Strike will just ignore them. And then one more thing is that Sunsteel Strike will hit through Endure, so that is something to take note. So for his trainer move, it's Bright as the Sun. Sadly, it's a 3 gauge cost move, which is pretty expensive. So if you want to max out your attack, special attack, and accuracy, you need to spend 6 gauges. It's quite good as well because maxing out your attack, special attack, and accuracy, meaning you don't have to bring any attack, special attack, or accuracy buffer. So you just have to bring like healers and defense and special defense buffers. And then fourth move is Focus Blast. It is a 3 gauge special fighting move with 75% accuracy and a 10% chance to lower special defense. So this move, it's pretty bad on paper because it's 70% accuracy, but his trainer move can max out his crit. Actually, you only need to use his trainer move once to ensure to make Focus Blast 100% accurate, right? So you only have to use once, but if you use twice, then it's better because you get to max your attack and special attack as well. So now let's go to his Sync Grid. For Sync Grid, we're just gonna look at 5 out of 5 because, like I said before, he's a free unit, so everyone should have him at 5 out of 5, 20 out of 20. So first up is Brain Teaser. The lower the special defense of the opponent, then the higher the power of your moves. 30% increase, but it's not that great honestly because we don't really have a lot of special defense debuffer in this game. Actually, we don't even have like a solid one. I mean, Solgaleo can debuff like 10% chance, and then he has on a roll, I believe. Where is it? Right here. Focus Blast on a roll 2, so you triple the chance, which is 30%. It's still pretty low. It's not even 50%. It's really low. So Brain Teaser is something you might not want to consider taking. It's not that great unless in the future they introduce like some decent, really good special defense debuffer. So yeah. And then we have Sunsteel Strike MGR3. We actually have 2 of them, right? One MGR3 and then one MGR2. If I did the math correctly, then if you have 2 of them, then the chances of getting at least 1 move gauge back is 58%, I think. I'm not sure if I did that calculation wrongly or not. If I did it wrongly, then feel free to correct me in the comment section below. So next up we have Sharp Entry 1. Raises the user's critical hit rate when the Pokemon enters battle. It's not really useful actually, just bring a crit support. And then it's also 10 energy, which is pretty expensive. Then here we have some Focus Blast MGR, which is, sadly it's only 2, so it's only 30%. And then we have the trainer move MPR2, which honestly you do not need that because you're gonna max out your attack and special attack anyway, so you don't need this. We have Sync Freebie. This, you might consider taking this if let's say you're running a very slow team, then this can definitely be quite useful. Super Duper Effect 2, pretty good. If the stage is weak to, let's say, Steel, solid. you can definitely take this. It's 9 energy, but it's quite good. So you can do like this, right? Because Sunsteel Strike, you pretty much need it. Or maybe you wanna do like Focus Blast build, then you can go here, take Sing freebie, I guess. Because if you're running a Focus Blast, you definitely need this, and then you don't want this because this is pretty useless. So you wanna go here instead. And then for here, we have Metal Claw, Power Up, Sunsteel Strike, Focus Blast, Metal Claw, MGR3, pretty useless. But we have Power Reserves 5. Maybe you want this, maybe not, depends. Endurance, maybe you want this as well. These two can definitely go well together, right? Meaning you can hang in with 1 HP and then you can do some damage with Power Reserve 5. It's a 50% increase of damage. We have Focus Rush 1. This, like I said, just bring a crit support. Sharp Entry 1 and Focus Rush 1. Just bring a crit support. Don't need it actually. Just bring crit support. So for the builds, so let's say you're running a Sunsteel Strike build, then definitely you take the MGR2, MGR2 and MGR3 and then take the Super Defect Effective. And then you still have a lot left, so you can take a lot. Maybe you want to go Power Reserve 5 and then Endurance. Maybe you want that, or maybe you don't want Endurance, you take Sing freebie. It is really up to you, honestly. Because Solgaleo speed, it's not bad. 316, that is pretty high actually. So yeah, you still have some energy left, just take some power-ups or whatever, it's up to you. And then for Focus Blast, you should definitely take this MGR, and then maybe take speed, and then take some power-ups. Brain Teaser, maybe you want this, maybe you can consider taking on a roll 2 and then Brain Teaser because you're running Focus Blast, right? Focus Blast is a special attack move, so decreasing the special defense can have some benefits, right? And then on top of that, you get Brain Teaser. But like I said before, Brain Teaser is not like super good, mainly because we don't have any solid special defense. But if you're running a Focus Blast build, then go ahead, you can give it a try. 30% increase is pretty decent, right? And then maybe you take Sting freebie like this, and Super Duper Effective 2. So something like this. So there's something I want to talk about. Solgaleo actually does more damage, straight up. But Steven can do higher sync damage mainly because of Haymaker, right? Haymaker is really good. For the grid, right? Solgaleo has Brain Teaser, which honestly is not that recommended, but I just put it to just showcase his damage, right? Super Duper Effective 2. This one you should take it most of the time if the stage is weak to steel or fighting. And Power Reserves 5. It's not like super reliable as well because if your HP is low, you're gonna die anyways. But like I said before, just taking it just for the damage calculations. For Steven, I'm giving him MGR3 Iron Head and then Aggravation 1. So Iron Head will have a 60% chance of flinching, which is pretty high. I also gave him Haymaker and Recuperation. Sadly, Steven and Metagross does not have anything in his grid that can buff his regular attack. Only his Sing grid, only his Sing nuke. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So here is the damage calculation. As you can see, Solgaleo actually does a lot more damage, like 40% more damage, which is a lot. But like I said, Power Reserve 5 and Brain Teaser, you might not use them, mainly because they're not super reliable, right? So if I remove them, he actually does slightly less damage than Mega Metagross, which is, you know, it's still like pretty good, right? Considering like he's a free to play, that is still really good damage. So if you don't have Steven, Solgaleo can work. Solgaleo is pretty decent, so you can give it a try. So next time we're gonna compare Solgaleo Sunsteel Strike and Zacian's Behemoth Blade. So the sync grid for Solgaleo is the same, right? Power Reserve 5, Super Duper Effective 2 and Brain Teaser. And then for Zacian, I gave him a lot of Behemoth Blade stuff, right? Power up. And then similarly to Steven, I mean I haven't used all the energy, right? There's still a lot left over, so you can pick up a lot of other stuff. So similarly to Steven, Zacian actually does not have anything that can buff his regular attack other than Behemoth Blade. The description says if the target has a sync buff, then yeah, he deals 50% extra damage if target has sync buff. So that's something to take note. So here is the damage calculation. As you can see, Solgaleo actually does a lot of damage compared to Zacian. And then the last column here is the damage per move gauge. Solgaleo actually does more damage per move gauge compared to Gloria and Zacian, despite Gloria having like higher attack and higher BP. So yeah, it's quite crazy actually. And then let's say if you remove Power Reserve 5 and Brain Teaser, because like I said before, these two passives are not super reliable, so if I remove them, he does less damage sadly, but it's still pretty good damage considering that he's a free to play. Remember, he's a free to play. And I forgot to mention something, his stat is actually 0 out of 20. So if it's 20 out of 20, I believe it's 40 extra stat buff. No, it's actually 40 extra, so 440. Let's say you have 20 out of 20. You have a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. But like I said, again, I said it a lot of times already, Power Reserve 5 and Brain Teaser are not super reliable. So the next comparison I want to make is Solgaleo versus Mega Gallade in terms of Focus Blast. So one thing I want to say is that Solgaleo is lacking of crit support, but Wally is lacking of special attack support. Because his trainer move, it's only +1 attack and special attack, it's not really good. But you can +2 accuracy, right? But you do need to use it twice to ensure Focus Blast is 100% accurate. Because +2 will only make it like 93% accurate. You need at least +3, so you need to use this twice. Then for Dire Hit, he can +1 crit from his Mega, right? From his sync move. So +1 crit and then you +2 from Dire Hit. So you can max out his crit, but you do need special attack support, right? So let's talk about the grid. For the grid, I took Brain Teaser and then Focus Blast on a row 2. So a 30% chance to lower special defense for Brain Teaser, right? And then Super Duper Effective 2, MGR, and then this one, I have to take this to access Super Duper Effective 2, sadly. But this one is actually very useless. For Mega Gallade, we get ramming speed. You do need a speed support, right? He does have Pulse Haste 9, but you're a striker, you don't really want to get hit. So you want to bring a speed support. Then Crit Strike 1, then 10% if it's critical, which you pretty much get every time because you max out your crit anyways. And then Focus Plus MGR 3. So here's damage calculation. Solgaleo actually does slightly less damage than Wally. So yeah, but it's not by much, honestly. It's still a really good striker, given that he's free to play. I said it a lot of times already, really good. But you do need setup for Brain Teaser, right? -6 special defense on the opponent, which is gonna take a while to do. And then Wally has ramming speed, which increases damage by 30% and crit strike 1 increased by 10%. So overall, Wally does slightly more damage than Solgaleo. Solgaleo is a pretty solid striker, especially for free to play. I mean, like his grid overall is not that good, but his like base stat, his moves are already really good. It's already pretty good before his grid, but right now it's even better because you get MGR and all that stuff, some set buffs, some extra passives like Power Reserve 5 and then Super Duper Effective. That is all for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.